blood.
The film begins with a girl named Moira, who is seen enjoying herself a lot, unaware that she is about to fall into a deadly trap. After that, we see a couple, Gwen and Morwen, who are about to get married soon and are planning a bridal shower. At the same time, Gwen receives a call from her friend Moira, who is chilling on her holidays. One day, Gwen gets a message from Mawkin, inviting them to a party. We then see them at that same party, where Gwen and Moira are present along with their three friends, McCoy, Isabel, and Daniel, and then Mawkin also arrives. Everyone enjoys the party a lot, completely unaware of what is about to happen next. Here, Gwen starts getting closer to Mawkin, and Moira scolds her, reminding her that she is about to marry Morwen very soon. At the end of the party, Mawkin invites his friends to a private resort for a food trip. After this, we see all the friends, Mawkin, Gwen, Moira, Isabel, Daniel, and McCoy, traveling to their destination. After a long journey, they arrive at a private resort in an isolated valley, where the hosts Leon and his partner Corazon warmly welcome them.
Peace. Guys.
At first, the group seems to enjoy their trip a lot, but the hosts appear somewhat suspicious. During the trip, Gwen and Mawkin grow closer, which Moira does not like at all. Meanwhile, Gwen notices Mawkin's tattoo, which she finds quite attractive. That same night, Mawkin, while exploring the resort, reaches a secret green glowing room where he sees knives, blades, human flesh, and intestines. At the same time, we also see someone using a knife. When Mawkin hears movement behind the curtains and moves forward, Corazon suddenly comes out from behind them. Mawkin follows her inside and is shocked to see the horrifying scene. Severed arms, legs, and different human body parts hanging like meat in a butcher shop. Suddenly, Corazon attacks Mawkin with a knife. This monstrous woman repeatedly stabs him without giving him even a moment to defend himself. Screaming in pain, Mawkin, covered in blood, stumbles around, but Corazon shows no mercy. Finally, when he collapses on the ground due to his wounds, Corazon brutally slits his throat and kills him. Shortly after, her partner Leone arrives, and both of them leave after looking at the dead body. Outside, Gwen starts looking for Mawkin. Even after searching the entire resort, she cannot find him. When she enters the kitchen, Corazon approaches her from one side. Gwen asks her about Mawkin, but Corazon pretends to know nothing. Meanwhile, Leone enters carrying food and tells Gwen that Mawkin had to leave due to an emergency. Gwen is shocked to hear this, but Corazon reassures her that he will return. Upset, Gwen leaves. Later, she meets Moira and discusses how Mawkin suddenly disappeared. The next morning, Isabel wakes up and heads toward the forest to enjoy nature, while the cannibal couple watches her. In the forest, despite seeing a prohibited area sign, Isabel moves forward and starts taking photos. During this, she notices some mushrooms and picks a few. As soon as she turns back, her foot steps on a trap, triggering a heavy wooden block from above that hits her, causing her to fall unconscious. Back at the resort, Gwen wakes up still feeling worried. When she comes outside, she sees Moira and McCoy enjoying breakfast. McCoy mentions Mawkin and says that he left in a towel through the emergency exit. I don't understand why he is lying, because he wasn't even present during the incident at night. Now McCoy also seems suspicious to me. Meanwhile, Daniel arrives looking for his wife Isabel, but no one knows where she is. Corazon brings juice for everyone, and Daniel asks her about Isabel as well, but she pretends not to know anything, even though she had seen Isabel leaving. McCoy, Moira, and Daniel go outside the resort, while Gwen stays behind. Corazon then approaches Gwen, grabs her wrist in a strange way, sniffs it, and says that her bones are very weak, which makes Gwen feel extremely uncomfortable. Ignoring this disturbance, Gwen gets up and walks toward the BBQ, starting to turn the meat. Suddenly, she notices a tattoo on a piece of flesh, the same tattoo that was on Mawkin's body. Gwen is shocked and immediately feels nauseous. As she vomits, Corazon senses that Gwen is scared, but Gwen pretends that she is fine and makes an excuse to leave. When Gwen reaches the backyard, she notices a trail of diesel on the concrete. Meanwhile, in the forest, the others are searching for Isabel. However, before they can find her, Leone reaches Isabel first, checks her condition, and removes the trap he had set. On the other side, Gwen follows the diesel trail, while Moira and the others eventually reach Isabel and rescue her, unaware that Leone is secretly watching them. As Gwen continues following the trail, she reaches a covered car. When she checks it, she realizes that it is their own vehicle, but wonders why it is there. Before she can investigate further, she sees Leone approaching and quickly hides. Leone notices that the car cover has been disturbed and realizes that someone has been there, so he starts searching the area like a madman. But Gwen manages to escape unnoticed. The others bring Isabel back to the resort, where Daniel immediately asks Corazon about a nearby hospital. Corazon does not take Isabel's injury seriously and suggests waiting for Leone to decide. When Leone arrives, he agrees to take her to the hospital. Gwen then makes an excuse that she is not feeling well and decides to go along with Isabel. While Isabel and Daniel prepare to leave, Gwen takes Moira with her for a walk and shares her concerns. She tells Moira that Mawkin never left and that their car is still there. However, Moira does not take her seriously. Gwen even says that Mawkin is dead, but Moira refuses to believe it. Gwen then takes her to show the car, but it is no longer there. Moira assumes Gwen is intoxicated and scolds her harshly, which leads Gwen to slap her. Meanwhile, back at the resort, Corazon enters Daniel's room and strangely praises him, saying that Filipinos are very brave and not afraid of danger or cults. Before Daniel can understand, Leone attacks him from behind with an axe, striking him repeatedly until he becomes unconscious. At the same time, Corazon enters the bathroom, where Isabel is washing her face, and violently smashes her head against the sink until she collapses. Later, we see Moira talking to McCoy, while Gwen returns to the resort and goes to Isabel and Daniel's room, only to find it empty. When she checks the bathroom, the tap is still running, which makes her even more anxious. Just like Mawkin, Isabel and Daniel have now disappeared, because Corazon and Leone have taken them, injured, into their secret green glowing room, where they chain them up heavily. Gwen goes to Moira and tells her about their disappearance, but she still does not take it seriously. After this, we see Corazon adding drugs to the juice. McCoy enters the kitchen and sees this, but surprisingly, he does not react. In the green glowing room, Isabel groans in pain while Daniel is unconscious, and Leone shows no mercy. Outside, Gwen tells Moira about the tattoo she saw on the meat, which shocks Moira, and she finally starts to believe her. Just then, McCoy and Corazon arrive with juice. It now becomes clear that McCoy is cooperating with the cannibals, as he personally serves the drinks to his friends. Moira drinks it immediately, but Gwen becomes suspicious. Corazon insists that Gwen drink the juice, especially since she has been feeling unwell since morning. Gwen questions this, pointing out that Isabel and Daniel were supposed to go to the doctor because of her condition, yet they suddenly disappeared. Corazon replies that Isabel's condition worsened, so they left immediately. Gwen is shocked that they would leave without informing her. As Gwen's heartbeat starts racing again, Corazon urges her to drink, but Gwen instead insists that Corazon drink it. When Corazon refuses, Gwen becomes more suspicious and starts questioning her about her missing friends and the van she saw parked in the backyard. Finally, Corazon loses patience and pulls out a knife from her pocket. Gwen notices and tries to run. Meanwhile, the drug begins to affect Moira, and she falls into the water. Corazon wildly tries to stab Gwen, but Gwen manages to escape into the forest. Corazon then goes to the green glowing room and sends Leone after Gwen. In the room, Daniel regains consciousness. Isabel, crying, clings to him. Both are helpless. Isabel tries to free his hands, but fails. Then she remembers something. She takes out the mushrooms she had picked earlier and realizes they are poisonous. The couple eats them in an attempt to commit suicide. Meanwhile, McCoy and Corazon pull Moira out of the pool and take her to the butcher room. McCoy questions whether the food they already have is not enough and suggests sparing Gwen, but Corazon threatens him, saying that if Gwen is spared, he will have to replace her, meaning he will be killed instead. It becomes clear that McCoy is not truly their ally. He is only cooperating to save his own life. They place Isabel on the slaughter table. After some time, Leone returns alone, unable to find Gwen, and sends McCoy to search for her. When Corazon enters the butcher room, she sees foam coming out of Isabel and Daniel's mouths. They have attempted suicide using the poisonous mushrooms. Corazon panics. Isabel, barely alive, shows her the mushrooms and says, "You will never have us." Enraged, Corazon turns toward Moira. Meanwhile, as evening falls, Gwen returns to the resort, while Corazon searches for her with binoculars. Hiding carefully, Gwen hears Moira's screams coming from the butcher room. She follows the sound and reaches there, but upon hearing Corazon approaching, she hides behind the white curtains in the green glowing room, where she sees Isabel and Daniel's condition and becomes even more devastated. Corazon begins beating Moira with a wooden stick. Gathering courage, Gwen grabs a severed hand from the table and attacks Corazon, knocking her down. Gwen then notices Mawkin's severed head placed on a dish, which fills her with rage. She starts brutally beating Corazon and then helps Moira escape. Gwen washes Moira's face with pool water and then goes into the kitchen to grab a knife for protection. As they step outside, they see Leon approaching with a blade. So they hide until he passes. As they move forward, McCoy appears and pretends to be a survivor, offering to take them to the highway. He even pretends to vomit, but Gwen slaps him, revealing that she had seen him earlier serving poison juice while not drinking it himself. McCoy confesses that he was only helping them to save his own life. At that moment, Leonie's voice is heard through McCoy's wireless device. Gwen attacks McCoy, but Moira feels pity for him. Suddenly, Leonie appears from behind and chokes Moira. Gwen threatens McCoy with a knife to his neck, but McCoy overpowers her and starts choking her instead. Leonie tries to stop him, and when he does not listen, Leonie kicks him away because Gwen is more valuable to them, as she is tastier, though the reason will be revealed later. At that moment, Moira hits Leon on the head with a stone and escapes with Gwen. Leon picks up his blade and, along with McCoy, goes after them into the forest, but fails to find them. Back at the resort, Corazon regains consciousness, grabs her blade and runs outside, screaming in rage. To find Gwen and Moira hiding in the jungle, Leonie reveals that Gwen is 6 weeks pregnant. However, Gwen denies this in front of Moira. This is the very reason why Gwen is more special to these monsters. As the two move forward, McCoy reaches them and attacks Gwen, but Moira jumps on him and bites his ear. Enraged, McCoy throws her down and starts slapping her. Gwen intervenes and begins choking McCoy, but Leonie arrives and grabs her by the hair, throwing her aside. Meanwhile, Moira crawls on the ground toward the poisonous mushrooms. When McCoy comes to attack her, she forcefully stuffs the mushrooms into his mouth. At the same time, Leonie starts slapping Gwen. Soon, foam begins to come out of McCoy's mouth due to the poison. Ironically, he scolds Moira, saying he considered her a friend, despite the fact that he himself betrayed them by siding with the killers to save his own life. Furious, Moira charges at McCoy. As he tries to step back to escape, she pushes him and impales him onto a sharp wooden spike attached to a tree, killing him. Meanwhile, Gwen fights for her life and gouges out Leonie's eyes. Blinded, Leon starts swinging his blade wildly to kill her, but Gwen, crawling on the ground, notices a rope connected to a trap. She quickly pulls it, triggering the trap, which strikes Leon in the neck and kills him instantly. Moira then comes toward Gwen, and together they cut off Leonie's arm and take his blade with them as they move forward. When Corazon confronts them, she rushes at them in rage. Gwen and Moira throw Leonie's severed arm at her, which only makes her more furious. A brutal fight follows, and together they finally manage to stab Corazon to death. After this, we see Gwen and Moira serving food at a feast, where the guests have arrived to enjoy a meal. These are the special guests for whom Corazon and Leon had been killing others to collect meat. As the guests begin eating and enjoying the feast, they suddenly start vomiting, because Gwen and Moira had poisoned the food. As a result, the people die, and the very flesh they consume becomes the cause of their deaths. In the end, having taken their revenge, Gwen and Moira leave the bloody resort, and the film comes to an end. Dear viewers, How did you like the recap? Do share your thoughts in the comments, like and share the video, and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.